bitch, you think you see me again?
Right? Surprise, bitch.
Why is my screen black?
I don't know, but we can see you.
I can't see myself.
Oh no.
No. All right, guys, we're going
No.
Instagram. Oh, actually, you know what? I could be doing this on whatever. It's my Instagram.
You know your Instagram?
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome, everybody.
Hey.
Hey!
Welcome back.
Hi, guys.
Hey, y'all.
You know,
Hey everyone.
Surprise, bitch. You thought you saw The Last of Us?
Never. We cannot be vanquished. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
First
we
of
thought we were
all,
going to take a break, but then folks
The
at
world
the CW started
started
acting up.
Listen,
Element
we
summoned
thought,
us back from the darkness.
Yeah, honestly.
yes, we thought that we covered the massacre at CW, the Red Wedding.
Yes.
But it seems that there's some things that are happening from the fallout.
Woof.
And we're going to get to them.
Mhm.
There's more.
There's more.
Hot thickens.
Honestly. Okay, so like normal, make sure you like,
Yes.
subscribe, follow, get your notifications.
Boop, boop, boop. Notifications, please.
Please. And follow us on Instagram,
Hit the
Facebook,
bell.
Twitch.
Something.
We're on TikTok, Twitter, whatever.
We're on everything. You're gonna see. We're
Right.
seeing everything. Whatever.
The one thing that we don't have.
Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. What else we got?
We don't have a
Are we
Discord.
on Instagram? Yeah, I said Instagram.
OnlyFans, we there.
Look.
Oh no!
OnlyFans.
Oh no!
Are you selling feet pics on OnlyFans, Tamon?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, I understand you. I can't knock your
Always.
hustle. Look,
I feel seen.
look, the way these gas prices are looking, I mean,
Listen,
Hello.
tomorrow.
My gosh, hello.
these are higher than GPA prices, okay?
That part is the issue.
Glass door.
What are you talking about over there?
I know. You just reading from your
Like,
Yes.
right?
you just randomly saying words. Glass door, Horizon Bay, Eclipse.
Tumblr.
Oh,
Okay. LinkedIn.
yeah.
Follow us on LinkedIn, everybody.
Oh my god. Look,
LinkedIn,
if I can get into
Downlink,
Stop
Tinder,
it.
Bumble.
No.
Okay.
And now we're doing the most.
I need one more stand. One more stand would make my setup perfect, because then I could put up the other one, and then we could do them both at the same time.
Look, you know how many? You know how many
And
these stands that I have, these tripods? I got like 3 of them.
bitch, I need one. No, let's see. I got. Whatever. I'm working.
Like I got like 3 tripods. I got a little extra webcam,
Right.
lamp.
So
A stream deck.
You have OnlyFans or you don't then?
I do not.
With all that stuff, you'd be
All this microphone on a stand, like all this other stuff. You know.
You said you said you do a handstand. What?
Look, stop it. I wish I can't do none of that stuff no more. Let your booty do that yoga, and that's that's about as far as I go, y'all. I can stretch. Ooh, yes. Mess.
Love it. Are you working on my stretch, guys?
Look at that. Working on his fitness. Look at you.
Put it around your neck.
I'm getting there.
Oh no, put it around your neck.
No.
Working on it.
No, we're a mess. Okay, so because lots of things have happened in a couple weeks with series finales of multiple shows. One pretty big franchise for the CW, and then one that's a reboot of a franchise for the CW has ended. And so there's some drama involved with one of them. Another one I just want to talk about because it's worth noting.
I
So, but
agree.
we'll talk about first what you're geeking out about. So, what are y'all geeking out about?
Okay, so I'll start. I have a few things I'm geeking out about. Well, it's all the same vein of things. As everyone knows, Scream 6, or the sixth installment in Scream, comes out at the end of March, and they already are in Montreal filming. This is the first film that will not have Nev Campbell, Sidney Prescott, as in the movie at all, allegedly. She
She
asked for
was in
more
all the other
money.
movies.
Yeah.
Oh,
She asked for more money, and Paramount said, "You know what? I don't know if we can do that." So they didn't, and she won't be involved in this movie.
Mm.
But it's super exciting. I am writing my own fan Scream 6 film, and it's out a little bit, and it got some good reviews, so that's really cool.
Yeah, I saw you showing stuff
ooh.
on Twitter, sir. I seen you. I seen you.
Just a little something, something. Just a little something, something.
Just
You
a little
know.
something, something.
Yeah, so I'm definitely geeking out about that. Black Phone comes out this Friday.
That
With
one
Ethan
looks.
Yeah.
Hawke. It looks terrifying. So Ricky,
Ooh.
let's go.
Oh
hmm
no.
I'm
Ooh.
sending you your
When
ticket,
does
so
Note
I don't
come
want to
out?
hear it. Who
Black
cares? I'm
phone. What
sorry.
is this?
Stop.
Black
Tamar,
Phone.
you didn't mean to say that out loud, did you, Tamar?
Did you hear that? I was really
Yes.
just thinking stuff to myself. Like,
You said it out loud, sir. You said
we
that
lost
out
on the
loud.
appeal. Yes, us, them, whatever it's called. Yeah,
You said
it
no.
comes out. It comes out next month.
There's another one listen, like one with it's called Smile.
Oh, I haven't seen the trailer in so long that was creepy to me.
Yeah.
Smile was pretty rough.
I didn't see the trailer. I saw like little bits of it, like little pictures of it, and like it's clearly like someone wearing like a creepy smile. I'm like, oh, that can't be good.
Well, the trailer opens with she's going to therapy. She's like, every time I turn around, I see somebody that's just smiling at me, and she gets killed right in front of the therapist. And so, like, it's gonna be good. Ricky, go see that one too.
Ooh. I don't know. In the daytime. Go in the daytime.
Please.
Bring a flashlight.
You know how long it took me just to watch the latest Scream movie, the first Scream movie? Damn, it took me
I'm
forever.
sorry.
Oh.
This one's gonna be pretty rough, I think.
Oh Lord,
That one looks like it's gonna be particularly scary.
Uh-huh.
I don't need all that. Look,
Julian, what are you geeking out about?
What am I geeking out about? Well, that stretch actually. To be perfectly honest, I've been like,
Yes.
I've been stretching hard these days. I've been like, okay. So they say that you know what, you hold trauma in your legs, right? And especially
Mhm.
you know in that area, I suppose, because that's obviously you know muscles that don't get stretched very often. So whatever. It feels great though. It's a good time. It's nice. It's like, but it's everything else that goes along with it. So it's like all the meditation that goes with it, and like the zen and all that feeling. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you know, like I'm geeking out about how good it's making me feel. So that and technically, honestly, not. I wish you picked me last. The segue would be totally Charmed. I'm not gonna lie, like. Because to kind of get back in, to kind of get ready for it, I haven't seen the last 2 seasons, so I've been kind of binging it and like kind of my refresher back. But like it's bringing back all of it because you know we all love Charmed, right? So we all watched it back in the '90s, so now it's like
oh,
I love it, so I'm so here for it.
Mm-hmm.
So did you finish it? The new one?
Not yet. I'm on what episode is this? 11 of season 4.
Okay, you're doing great. You're doing great. You got 2 more episodes.
I'm almost done. Yeah, I'm almost finished. So
I can't wait to get into it.
I think this is it. They cut it off after this.
Well, I might want to say like spoiler alert for you real quick, like how that last scene, because that's gonna be like a yes, because the last scene is like is what brought up.
Spoilerific.
I mean, because like the last scene is like what brought up the beef again.
I already know. It's
okay. Good.
The setting where it took place, right?
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yes, because that's what brought up the beef again.
That's why we're here,
Alright,
because
alright,
the original
don't worry,
writers are
I'm
not
up to
having
date
it.
on
Hold on,
all
hold on,
that
hold on, hold on.
news.
We're
But
almost there. We're almost there.
I am the sun. I am the
That's my favorite
air.
theme song for real.
Don't
I
discuss.
am heaven, and I need to be loved.
Jermaine, Jermaine, what are you geeking out about?
So what I thought Juliet was gonna say was Obi-Wan Kenobi
oh my god, also
because
that.
I
that
haven't seen the
just
finale. I've seen the
ended.
finale. No!
I haven't seen the finale yet either,
I haven't seen the finale
but
either.
it just ended yesterday, and people have some things to say about it. I actually pretty like. I like it. I love it.
I thought it was
I
good. I'm
love
not a.
I love the
Yo,
sass of Baby Leia. I love the
yes.
whole character of Reva, even though I
She's
don't think she should have lived past that one certain fight.
Dang.
you know what?
Oh,
Okay,
with
so
Darth
you know what
Vader?
I think, though? I think she's supposed to be Ahsoka's counterpart. You get me? Her
Isn't Ahsoka getting her own thing
Yeah, I
soon?
know, but
because they're you know what I mean? Like where
Dave
Ahsoka is a
Filoni
little
has
bit
a thing
more.
about like, oh, I create this character. This character has to live forever.
Well, not necessarily that. I think that they're establishing newer characters so that they can kind of get rid of the old ones, right?
They're dead.
They're establishing new ones so that they can
You
continue
have
with those.
new
But what
characters, but like,
I think the point was to just make her fall from the dark side, essentially. You get me? And in the same way where Ahsoka fell from the light side. So where Ahsoka's a little more light side, but now she's kind of a gray Jedi. Reva, I hope, and this is what I think that they're doing with her, is that she's going to be more dark side, and then she becomes a gray Jedi after that. So then so I think she's supposed to be Ahsoka's like counterpart in that way. Hopefully, maybe we'll see. We'll see how it works out. But she was a great.
but honestly, I don't. I wouldn't be excited to see that because, like, what would they do? They just like, oh, we're just here to jump in and rescue people for no reason. Now, that's our lot in life. Like, that's what we do. We're just here to be like the Deus Ex characters now. Like, if she had died right then it would have been, oh, it's a tragic villain story. She was truly trying to be a hero in her own story, but she failed. Now I feel sorry for her because woo, woo, woo. That would have been a great ending for that character. But if she's just going to go on and just be like, I don't believe in the light side or the dark side, I just have the force. Like, what you gonna do with this later on, ma'am? What's your
We'll see. I suppose.
that's the same thing as Ahsoka. They just bring Ahsoka into like every show, just to be like, "Ooh, you remember Ahsoka? You like her? You liked her? She's not gonna do anything like important, but she's gonna be like the carrier girl. She's the messenger, and now she's gone."
In Clone Wars, I mean, and other than that, we've only seen her in.
Yeah, she was important in the Clone Wars because the Clone Wars was the story, was like the series where she was the star. In Rebels, she wasn't. She was just there. Rebels, she was actually pretty good
Yeah, but Rebels,
until the first time where she should have died.
I cried
With
at
Vader, where she should have died.
Okay. Yes, I suppose.
I thought it was a whole other conversation, y'all.
Okay,
I feel like that. I feel like it's too.
Sorry, guys, we got a little caught up. Anyway,
y'all did, but I don't blame y'all. I'm just
her
saying.
character was awesome. Reva was a beautiful character, so I'm happy that they're gonna keep her around.
Gorgeous design. I'm all in for the Inquisitors. Also Ms. Marvel. Oh, beautiful time.
Stop.
So
I like Ms. Marvel.
Ms. Marvel, real quick.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed because I thought she was gonna be. I thought the show was about the girl from Doctor Strange and Multiple Madness, but it wasn't.
Oh, American Chavez.
And it was a new guy. I was like, ugh. I was like, okay, whatever. I'll watch it.
No, so I remember reading.
America.
Yeah.
That's Chavez. That's Chavez. American Chavez.
Yeah. Tomato, potato.
Look, stop it, because those are two different, completely different characters
Right.
and ethnicities. Don't do that. Don't do that. No, because I remember reading. I think like the first first copy of Miss Marvel like on Kindle. Like it was like free on Kindle, and like I thought it was cute. So like that's all I know about Miss Marvel was Kamala Khan, and just that like I think it's a cute. It was a cute comic, and it's gonna be a cute show. It's a cute show. I like it. It was cute and funny, and I like it because not everything has to be dark.
Right.
You just had a horror film with Doctor Strange. We can have something cute.
Right. And I think this is I think this one is geared more towards like young adult, right? I feel.
Yeah,
So,
I feel like it.
It's not even.
I feel like it's more coming of age than Spider-Man.
It's being a cute rom-com type thing, much like how Spider-Man was in Homecoming, but with far more color and more teen pop to it. More artistic style.
Yeah, I mean, like you get the whole like immigrant kid, family dynamics. Like it's. I feel like it has its place, and it's a cute show.
I think it's fun. I didn't like the first episode. One, I was shocked that it wasn't the girl from Doctor Strange. Two, I was bored a little bit because they gave us all this stuff with no information behind it. But that second episode, I love a good montage of when the superheroes train, learn how to use their powers. I love that, and so I enjoyed that. That was really good. And the next episode just progressively got better, so I'm excited.
Okay, good. So what do you think if you like knowing that you know now that it's not America Chavez, would you rewatch that first episode again and have a different take on it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh. No.
Sometimes
I know a lot of people. There's a lot of negative discourse around the show because they're like, it's a teen comedy. I don't want to watch a teen comedy. We've had enough. That's not for me. They're being too woke because she's a Muslim girl. That's too much.
Not too woke.
I hate that. I hate. I'm gonna throw this out there. I hate how a certain demographic, a certain political sphere, has completely bastardized the word woke.
Ooh, yeah.
It don't even mean what it meant when it was when it's part of the African American vernacular English. It don't even like the way that using that. It doesn't even mean the same thing anymore.
No.
Stay woke just meant like be aware, wake up, like pay attention. That's all that meant.
Wake up.
Thank you. That's all exactly. It's just pay attention.
Wake up your
y'all talk about like, and now it's just there's another way of saying like politically correct, and I'm like, y'all, this is not some brand new character they just decided to make up with in the last year. Kamala Khan has been out for at least a decade now.
Yep, 12 years.
Is that old?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was created in 2012 when Carol Danvers changed over to being Ms. She changed her name from Ms. Marvel to Captain Marvel, and so they created Kamala Khan to take the name Ms. Marvel.
Because they made the comic long before they even thought. I'm assuming long before they even thought of the Captain Marvel. At least before they made the Captain Marvel movie. We were probably still in phase 2 or 3.
Captain Marvel movie came out way back in 2017.
I'm saying like we were still in phase 2. Yeah, something like that. We were still in phase 2 with the MCU when they came out Kamala Khan. That's what I'm saying. So like, it's like folks talking about like, why are they making She-Hulk? She-Hulk has been around for decades.
Yo, She-Hulk has been around since the 90s, 80s,
since 1980.
Right. Like, have y'all been paying attention? Like Spider-Gwen's, like any form of Spider-Woman, has been around for decades.
1979.
Thank you. Like y'all, do y'all know your comic history? Like I'm not even a comic person. Like, do y'all know?
But we all know who has the fucking problem, right? And it's
Bros.
I have to beat around that bush. But we all know who really is who has the
D Bros.
Which is crazy.
Wake up.
Because it's like,
dude, I'm woke. I got black friends.
Bring in like the male characters as if there are no female characters. Like the only ones that are okay are the run of the mill Jean Grey, Scarlet Witch, and who else? Who would be like top 3 on that? Maybe like
Storm.
Yeah, those are the only
Wonder Woman.
Well,
not from MCU, but like I'm just saying, like, as far
Comics
as like
overall, Wonder
comics
Woman is up
overall,
there.
Wonder Woman.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But like, there's
Black
female
Canary,
characters.
Vixen.
It's inundated with female characters. Like, how could
Thank you for saying Jean's name first, and I think that's important for people to know that you said her name first.
Well, the Negroes just know the basic bitches, so you know.
Oh.
Okay, I lied. Oh, no, it's funny because I did love Jean Grey as a kid. I did. So I'm here for it.
You hurt his feelings.
What did you say? You loved Jean Grey as a kid? Don't lie. Nobody liked Jean Grey when we were kids.
Ooh.
Oh, I did. I've always loved Jean Grey. So you watch your little mouth.
As a kid, I didn't hate her. I did love
You
her.
are a liar. You like Dark Phoenix. You didn't like Jean Grey.
I
Nobody
loved
liked
Jean Grey
Jean
before
Grey
the
because
Phoenix
Jean Grey just
Saga.
fainted.
No, I did like Jean Grey. Jean Grey is Jean Grey.
Thank you. You're
I
a
was
hater.
like, you can do force field. Nothing can break it. Blah 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 blah. I mean, until she passes out, of course. But
I've spelled this.
And it takes nothing to make her pass out. You could punch it real hard. She'd be like, "Oh, Scott."
Ah!
She's not like that in the comics.
Why y'all fighting on the tele? Why are we fighting in front of company, y'all? Stop it.
She used to be like that in the comics. That's why they gave her Phoenix.
Oh, I love
Oh,
it.
it's cute now.
So cute, bitch.
Oh, cute.
You got those done, or you did them yourself?
No, I got them done. It was my first time.
Aw.
You know what? I know it's like the Scream ghost face, but it looks like the little Kodama from what is that movie? Spirited Away?
Oh.
Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, Princess Mononoke. I know
No one's seen that before.
Ay, Dios mío.
Oh.
Everyone.
Ah, Dios mío.
Stop it. Stop it. Oh no. Okay. All right. So,
All
what else
Let's
are you
go to
geeking out about,
commercial.
Jermaine?
Jump to the
I didn't
thing.
say. I didn't say what I was geeking
but
out about.
talk about
You
what
didn't, and I'm sad
you
about that.
I mean,
Ricky, what you geeking about?
well, so like even though I've already saw it, per my Mother's Day gift from Timon, but I'm excited about the fact that Multiverse of Madness is already on Disney Plus, like as of yesterday. So it was at 10:00 last night when I realized it because Forrest wanted to watch some Disney Plus. And I was like, okay, it can be a little scary. He's a scaredy cat like me. Like, it's a little scary. So are you sure you want to watch it? He said, yeah. He's gonna be brave. He's gonna watch it. Granted, he fell asleep within the first 10 minutes. So
yes, best night ever.
Look, he probably got to the first big fight scene and then he was out.
Yeah, okay.
I love that. No. Go to bed, thanks.
Look, I fell asleep. I think I probably fell asleep about 40 minutes in. Claire stayed up probably because when I woke up, the movie was over and she was asleep too. But, I think they liked it, what they saw.
Okay.
I liked it. And then what else is going on? There's not much else. I mean, I need to catch up on TV shows. I need to catch up on
Beyonce dropped a single.
Oh,
That's
right.
important.
Beyonce just dropped a single.
Yes. Oh, that's right. We got to talk about this.
This is so loud.
King B dropped the album. I mean,
Yes.
Have we all quit our jobs yet?
Oh, no. Because Beyonce is rich and Beyonce does not actually speak for the people, y'all. We all got jobs.
Thank
you. We got 9 to 5s. We got to pay bills.
Unless she go call me about and do some work with me.
Y'all just pay $50 for a box and then try to quit your job afterwards.
Right?
No, sir.
It's easy for her to think about quitting her job and just like redoing her life. You're Beyonce, but
yeah.
But we all need the anthem for that, right? In our lives. So
like,
I mean, I did that for the pandemic. So,
for the jam, for the bop, I like it. I can't think beyond that, or I'm gonna get sad. Okay.
Yeah, I think that.
like I can't put any more context into it, or I'm gonna be sad.
But the beat is so nice. Oh, it's like a throwback.
It's some house music, yes. With some Big Frida, yes.
For it, so here for it.
Yes.
Beyonce, I guess she can do no wrong. I
wouldn't say all that. I'm a fan too, yeah.
Are you in a beehive though? Are you?
No, I don't buzz near them like that. I might join in for a little bit, but I can't.
I'm a stan in that, like, that she works hard. She deserves.
Yeah.
She deserves the accolades that she gets. Does she deserve my obsession?
No.
Does anybody really? No.
That's exactly my viewpoint too. Like I love her, I love Rihanna, I love all these different artists, but as far as like getting ready to cut your throat over them,
that's a
maybe Scream or Jean Grey, but other than that,
like I ain't getting in the fights with folks about it. But like, but if someone says like she's overrated, I'm like, how? Like she's like to me, she's not over because she still doesn't get the accolades that she should get. But like, she puts out good music. She's a very talented artist. She's a very talented singer. She's actually pretty versatile. You know, she's not an actress, but we don't need that. We don't need her to be an actress. We just need her to be entertainer. She does that very well.
Listen, you have Jesus Christ and then you have Beyonce. That's it.
And Michael Jackson's in between them.
And Michael Jackson. That's true. They're basically modern day gods.
Okay.
Whitney,
Mariah.
Oh, nippy.
Yes. Look.
Okay, so I'm having like real existential crisis over Michael Jackson though. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, are we all really like deep down?
Yeah.
Did something new happen?
No, it's just, but I just feel like I have, you know, perhaps I come to the conclusion where now, like when I see or you know hear his name, think of him or things like that, I'm just like, oh, but Julian, can you give him the accolades? Should you be giving him the accolades? I'm like, yes, but no. I don't know. Whatever. Existential crisis. We don't know how to take it because I'm pretty sure that he was
amazing. Michael Jackson was amazing.
But also he was amazing.
I mean, you know, it's just
well, it was because I have a t-shirt from his final tour, right? Like when he was actually alive. And this is his tour or whatever. His last final tour, he wasn't quite alive. So you know, and I was like, oh, am I gonna wear it? Am I not gonna wear it? Do I wear this out? And so it's sitting in the drawer. Yes, I'm done. That's it.
You know, there was so speaking of Michael Jackson, there was this TikTok that I saw.
TikTok.
Who was it? Was David Banner of all folks, I think.
Ooh,
no, it wasn't David Banner. It was Dr. Umar. That's his name, Dr. Umar. He was at I think the grave site or somewhere, but he was talking about how because you know the new Elvis movie just came out, and you know Michael Jackson was married to Elvis's daughter for a short time, and I think that marriage allowed him to get a portion of the estate of the Presley estate or something like that, or at least something with like the music for Presley, like he owned part of it.
I love that for him
because you know he owned the you know the rights for the Beatles music before he passed, and so you know at some point the record company Sony was trying to get him to sell those, the Beatles and Elvis's, whatever he had of Elvis's, and pretty much tanked his like second to last album, Invincible.
Ooh, bitch.
That one had a couple of good songs on it. And so he was like, the reason why he was having that tour before he passed was so he could pay off, like get out of debt.
Yeah.
And so they say that he was killed so he wouldn't be able to pay off his debts. That's what I heard.
Oh God!
I know, isn't that crazy? This is a conspiracy theory for you.
I love a good theory.
Look,
I haven't heard that one, to be honest.
You know,
I've heard he was murdered, but geez.
Yeah,
I mean, the doctor did,
but I honestly didn't think they were related.
Didn't the doctor go to jail though? Like it was.
He did.
Yeah, he went to jail for it.
Yeah. Yep. He sure did. And I think the doctor also was the fall guy. Like the administrator, but also
hence the theory.
There we have it. Yep. I think that he didn't just act on his own just to kill him. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he was coerced.
Where's Tupac?
One way or another, huh?
If he's not in heaven, he's on an island.
Where's Tupac? Okay. Oh,
Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, he's there with what's her name that flew around? What was her name?
Oh, Amelia.
Miss Earhart.
Yeah, Miss Earhart and Tupac Schiller.
Hiding in the Caribbeans with the
In the
Scottish decor.
Caribbean. Immortal.
Okay.
Ooh, all right. So you ready for a commercial? Then we get into the
That
meat of
feels
it all.
amazing.
All right, let's do it.
Commercial!
Commercial break. So with that, I had made a Facebook post saying like I need to remember that like my facial expressions are very loud, and they can be very loud. It's just the whole like it was so much easier to not show my confusion or like my shock when I had a mask on my face, and like a figurative mask, but also like a literal mask because of COVID. Like I could
like the actual mask. Yeah.
Yes. So. But just and it's hard to do that when you're on Zoom and you're trying to like sit through a meeting and not look like what the heck is going on here. This is ridiculous. Yes, that was a clip from Black Girls Hyper Focus. The other show that I'm on with my friend Tara. Me and Tara were 30-something-year-old Black women with ADHD. Reflecting on how did we get to this point? How have we survived this long? Not knowing. And so, yeah, that airs every other Wednesday on Twitch and Facebook Live.
Yes, we love to hear it.
Okay, so let's get into it. So what do we want to start with first? Legacies or Charmed? Because
Legacies, maybe.
Okay.
Let's do Legacies.
Well, because I know nothing about it.
Okay, so
an era.
Legacies is the final show in the Vampire Diaries universe. Of course, we started with the Vampire Diaries, and then we moved on to the originals. And we could take a little bit of time on those two shows. We talk about them a lot, but we're going to always talk about them a lot, so deal with it. So the Vampire Diaries is a show basically about Elena and her love affairs and her friends. Now that's the public opinion, but for us, it was about Bonnie Bennett and how she was treated poorly by all her friends. How she was treated poorly by all her friends.
Yes. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, Vampire Diaries is based off a book by, what's her face name? What's her name? It's like the book series. Yeah, I know. My bad.
Damn.
Right.
I got mad at myself.
Elena and her vampire lovers.
Right. So it started off as a book series, and it was really about Elena, but also mainly about the brothers, the Salvatore brothers, Damon and Stefan, and in their hometown of Mystic Falls. The books weren't about Mystic Falls, but the TV series was. And that started in 2009.
L.J. Smith.
Yes, that was. L.J. Smith. Vampire Diaries, the TV series, lasted for 8 seasons, right? 8 seasons. They had a spinoff after they introduced the Michelsons through Klaus Michelson with the originals. So we had a spinoff where the originals were based in New Orleans, and that lasted for 5 seasons. In the originals, Klaus had a child, a miracle baby, Hope Michelson, which leads us to technically the final chapter in the TVD universe, Vampire Diaries universe, the Legacies, where Hope Michelson is the teenager. She's grappling with being literally the only tribrid. So,
and what's a tribrid?
A tribrid. So, back up to originals and Klaus. Klaus is the original hybrid. So he's a vampire. He's actually born a wolf, turned into a vampire, and when he was turned into a vampire and he had his first kill, he activated his werewolf curse. His mother,
Esther,
like bound those powers, and so he spent like at least a millennium, at least 1,000 years, because he's about 1,000 years old.
He's trying to. Sorry.
Yes. Trying to break that curse. So when he broke his curse, he became a hybrid. The only one, the original one at first, and so he was able to make hybrids, vampires, and werewolves that were also vampires, that had even more heightened special abilities. So when that hybrid werewolf gene unbeknownst to him, he was able to conceive a child with Haley Marshall, which is why we have Hope. I know that was sad. Where we get Hope Michelson. So now, backing up even further, Klaus's mother Esther is a witch. They call her the original witch.
Bad witch. Yeah.
They call her the original witch, but she got most of her stuff. Her sister Dahlia was stronger than her, and she got most of her spells from what's her name, Ayana Bennett. So, thank you.
Which is Bonnie Bennett's ancestor. So
right, which is why we even had the vampire spell in the first place. Anyway, so now that we have, thank you. So now we have a tribid, which is someone with the witch gene, werewolf gene, and because of the hybrid parents, both her parents became hybrids. She also had vampire abilities.
Oh Lord.
So like she was actually born like a werewolf, no, a witch vampire, right?
With the dormant werewolf gene.
With the dormant werewolf gene, she had to she had to activate her werewolf gene by killing someone. Like
and
normal.
She killed a group of people, yeah.
Right. So so that was that whole deal. So with Hope, I know we're going through all this. So Hope is, for those that don't know, so Hope is a teenager at the Salvatore boarding school for supernatural
gifted
kids,
youngsters,
whatever. Professor X's like other school.
That's what I was gonna say.
Right.
It's definitely Professor X for magical creatures.
Right,
yeah.
exactly that. Where started by two of the original characters of Vampire Diaries, Caroline Forbes and Lark Saltzman.
Funded by Klaus.
Right, funded by Klaus. Started basically for their twin daughters, and they basically started a school for young children, supernatural children. And so they sent Hope there at a young age, and this is her growing up, dealing with the fact that she's Michelson, which already has a bad connotation. Figure out who she is, dead parents, whatever. and so that lasted for. Go ahead.
Remember that. Whatever she is.
Right.
But no, there was a lot leading. The entire purpose of the second spinoff Originals was about Hope. She was born in the first season. They were protecting her, guarding her. The entire show was about Hope. And now she has a spinoff where she is a little bit older than she was in the other show. And she's this emo, mean girl underneath type character. She doesn't want friends, but of course, you gotta have friends. But this Legacies has this cool ensemble. You have Elizabeth and Josie Saltzman, and they were in Originals. Not that, yeah, just the original.
No,
right.
They were in
Vampire Diaries.
The last last season or two.
Yeah, last season or two. They were kids, so now they're teenagers. You have Lizzie and Josie are Gemini witches, and they are twins, and they are siphoners, which means that if you touch someone, you can absorb their magic, or someone or something, and they don't have any magic of their own. And on their 21st birthday, they have something called the merge, and the merge means they compete psychically, energetically to see who's going to be the more dominant sibling, and the other one is absorbed, and the new one becomes the leader of their coven. Just for some context,
but
there is no coven.
One eats the other. They tadpole that bitch. This is crazy.
That part, I figured you would like that. That's good lore. It's terrible.
That is good. Yeah.
Actually, I do remember this part. This happened in the Vampire Diaries. Yeah, she had curly
Kai.
Yeah. Okay.
Kai. So these are Kai's nieces.
Yes.
These are Kai's nieces. So Kai's a siphoner, and he technically killed the entire Gemini coven,
including himself.
And he became
a heretic.
A heretic. That's right. All right. So a heretic is a siphoner turned vampire, which means the magic that creates vampires is constantly circulating through them, so therefore they don't have to absorb magic to have magic, because the magic that makes them vampires is already still going through them, so therefore they have magic,
and they're a vampire,
right? And so therefore they're witches and vampires at the same time,
which is, in my opinion, probably one of the best ones to pick from. If I had to pick one.
I mean, they could have expanded on that a little bit more.
It's probably because they have like that siphoning ability and that aspect, but like they're limiting factors that they don't have any magic of their own. So it's like, oh, they can do all these great things with the magic that they have to steal from somebody else, essentially. But now they have, now they become their own battery, which just makes that
right, exactly that.
Yeah, they already powerful based off of their bloodline and their coven. They just have a handicap.
Right.
But it's almost like a handicap / is an advantage. No, it's not. It's definitely a handicap.
It's
you don't have your own magic.
It's kind of like giving them a bound. It's like Jean Grey's mental blocks.
I mean, because like either you can just be a siphoner, or you'd have to technically die and be turned. Like that's the whole crux of like the battle between being a vampire and a witch. Like someone that's supposed to be of nature, and pulled from nature, and then someone that's not of nature, that's a technical abomination, and like you have them together. Like that's the whole like you have to grapple with that. So but also like I think it's a better option than like someone that was a witch, like Body's mom Abby, and being killed and then turned and then like losing that connection with your magic. Period.
Yeah, you might as well just kill her. Well,
right.
I'm sure. Yeah, she's a bandit, so she's really connected to magic.
Right.
So not having that has to be horrible.
Right. As opposed to like not really having it on a regular in the first place, and then oh wow, I get my own now because I've transitioned.
It's a different feel.
Yeah.
Not only do I get magic, but I get super speed, super hearing, compulsion. I'm bad. I'm everything.
Right. Exactly.
I just gotta eat. I just gotta drink blood.
Exactly that. And so
at that point.
And so Legacies lasted about 4 seasons. I think so the thing is with these 3 parts of this entire universe is that they're all fairly different in ways. So like Vampire Diaries is very clearly like young adult, love triangle, all Twilight-ish. I mean, because the Vampire Diaries was coming off like the end of, not the end, but like in the middle of the Twilight mania.
Where vampires were everywhere on television.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so there's that, but then like the originals, which I think is a superior show,
agreed,
because it's more adult. Now, like someone like I started watching Vampire Diaries when I was on like I just had Clara, so like I was still early 20s, so like I was still in that main demographic to watch them.
Me too.
But even as like the years went on, like I appreciate the family aspect of the originals more than the love triangle teeniness of Vampire Diaries. And I appreciated they went more into the witch folklore and the werewolf folklore and the originals. And you had to, if you're going to be placed in like if your setting's in like New Orleans, you have to. Like that'd be dumb if you didn't. And then I refused to watch Legacies, so I didn't get into that. But from what I've read,
we're gonna get into that.
Look, from what I've seen from other people, it like a lot of people didn't care for Legacies that really enjoyed Vampire Diaries the originals because it was so like it felt like it was geared towards like an even younger audience sometimes. Especially if you're not used to having like the monster of the week type of protocol. Like it's one thing if it's Buffy, because they did Monster of the Week and they had a big overarching thing. But like if that's what you start with, like with Buffy or Angel, they had a Monster of the Week with a big overarching thing. But if you're expecting Legacies to be like Vampire Diaries or the originals, you're gonna be disappointed because it's not like that.
So I'm just like you. I'm a huge fan of the universe, but originals I can watch that all day long. From season 1 to the last, whatever it is. Vampire Diaries, I think that I'm out of that demographic. So because I know the story, I don't want to sit through it. There are great moments in the beginning seasons, but like the last couple of seasons of Vampire Diaries were really good. Even the seasons without Elena.
Oh yeah.
I have notes for that season, but it was still some good stuff.
Look, my problem with those last couple seasons with the Vampire Diaries is that they did not take advantage of the fact that you still had an ensemble cast and characters that you could have brought to the forefront more.
Yes, that's my note.
Like you
Yeah,
could
like
have done more for Bonnie. You could have done more for Caroline. You could have done more for the brothers. You could have done more for everybody else instead of tying them to that damn casket.
yes.
They could have
This
done so
still
much
Elena was
more.
still the main character, even if she
Right.
wasn't on the show. You
Exactly.
really could have like, and yes, we're biased, but we have a reason to be.
Mhm.
Bonnie Bennett and her bloodline can really be talked about in its own spinoff.
They really
And
could
so the
have.
fact that when Elena left, you didn't like walk through that or try to figure out how to break this curse because she's tied to the curse too.
Right.
But
But not even just
yeah,
that, like Bonnie's whole family, whole bloodline is tied to essentially the entire universe, like how everything started. So like the fact that they introduced these little snippets and parts of it, but they never expanded upon it. They never thought to explore it more. Makes me sad. Like there was so much they could have done if they actually cared about like the folklore. They
yeah.
didn't in Vampire Diaries.
No, and they got first season. We got a lot of flashbacks with Bonnie's ancestors, and then we found out their connection with Esther and her learning magic from Bonnie's ancestor and learning the actual spell to create vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Like
she should be feared
right.
based off her bloodline, and she's not. But in the originals, what I appreciate is that one, they didn't use Latin as the main source of magic. They used it was French or Haitian Creole as the main source of magic, which is more melanated, and I appreciate them for that. Getting to a source of magic that was really nice. But the thing about originals was every season the story just grew and it was better and better and better villains, better kills, better spells, better fashion, better extra characters. It was just so great. Then we get the legacies off of this amazing, beautiful high of originals. And legacies, as you took the words right out of my mouth, legacies is definitely Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If Buffy was a witch, also, which is now something that I'm currently reading, where the new Slayer is a witch Slayer in the new books, and it's Willow's daughter. So, but but that's what I'm currently reading. But yeah, but it was Monster of the Week. The problem was the big bad for Legacies lasted for 3 seasons. No.
Too long?
No. Too long. And they had a really great group of diverse cast members, mostly vampires, I believe. Well, it was vampires and witches and a couple of werewolves. And werewolves have always been shaded in this universe. You know, they really don't get too much.
You know what Vampires did well if they like extended the big bad over to the next season, they had really good build up. So like they had a really good build up for Klaus. Like you were scared of Klaus before we even got to actually meet Klaus.
Yeah.
And like Klaus, like you didn't actually like Klaus was jumping bodies for at least half a season before we even got to meet him.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't see his face.
And so like you were building up to him in like what season 2 or 3? And then that next season, like he's a big bad. He's like all that. Right, exactly. I mean, but not even and like beyond
you
him
saw
breaking
his
the curse.
siblings first. You saw his siblings first.
You saw Elijah first, and then
the Michelsons. But who we're here to see is Klaus because he's the main villain. But they're all villainess.
Right.
The problem with Legacies was we didn't have
Silas
that.
too. Like Silas, even like Silas. God. Like Silas, you saw all of Silas. You were scared of Silas or of what Silas was doing for like the second half of season 4. And then they were able to pull him into season 4 once you get to see that he's a doppelganger of Stefan. And like that first half of season 4, you got to like it's like they did a good job of crossing things over and building up some of those big bads into the next part of the season.
But Legacies failed at that, and I know you didn't watch it. I watched it religiously, and I had so many notes. I'm just like, you guys have this amazing history, this amazing storytelling formula that you have, and to get to Legacies, and it's the Monster of the Week and underdeveloped characters and characters you killed off or sort of killed off and shifted them to a new dimension, or it was just a lot going on with Legacies, and unfortunately, the first season was good. But the third season was not, and this last season was actually pretty good.
I heard that. I heard that the fourth season was probably the best season.
It was. They fought gods and won, literal gods. And then they had great cameos.
Yeah, I saw that the Marcel was an episode, and Freya and Cole, and yeah.
Marcel, Rebecca. Rebecca came twice, and so did
Okay.
Freya. But Rebecca, Freya, Marcel Cole, which was such an emotional and powerful episode. I teared up.
I love
And
me
that's
some
one thing
Marcel.
about originals. Originals will have you crying if you're
Mm-hmm.
invested in the characters, like we
Mm-hmm.
were. But this was I probably teared up twice on this show, and this was one of those times when they were determining where Klaus's ashes were going to go because Hope
Mm-hmm.
turned off her humanity when she killed her boyfriend.
Mm.
And I think that's another problem with Legacies. I think that they tried to merge Vampire Diaries and originals into one show. And that whole teeny love triangle thing, it just didn't happen because we wasn't invested into them. We've seen that already, and you have a school of magical creatures. Put them to work.
Right.
Let's go do something. In
And
fact,
even like
why
the
are we
love
back in
triangle
Mystic
on
Falls?
even the love triangle on Vampire Diaries was played out once like
Yes.
Elena chose Damon. Like honestly, because the problem with that was that even though you could kind of play on those emotions and that chemistry that Nina Dobrev and Paul Wesley were able to have together because they had great chemistry, honestly. Like you can play off that chemistry between Elena and Stefan, but like once Elena chose Damon, Stefan stuck to his word of saying, "Hey, I'm gonna step out. I'm not gonna get in the way."
Yeah.
And like for the most part, he followed that. And so like, what was the point of playing up that triangle? And like they mentioned like at some point like they were gonna get them back together, but it's like it's whatever. But you can't keep playing that triangle card with folks just trying to get people invested. So because after a while it was played out. Like either
And
she's with
honestly, when
one
they
or
went
the
to
other.
college, that was it. Once they go to
Yes.
college, it's time to do adult stuff.
Right.
Yeah, we were done with that.
Yes. Unfortunately.
I agree. It was drawn out. It's literally 7 seasons worth of the same love triangle.
Right.
No.
Seriously,
Like
guys.
Yeah.
And
especially when you got like a what was it, a 7-year time jump, or like a 5-year time jump, whatever.
5-year time jump. Yeah, it was
right.
a 5-year time jump.
Right. Like by that point, the humans are adults now. They supposed to have graduated.
Yeah,
by
we're
this
doing
point.
all adult things. We're out of college. We're sexing. We're drinking. We're trying to find jobs, and we got
twin babies.
Twin babies.
They killed off all their parents. They're adults now.
Right.
Yeah, literally all their parents were killed off.
Right.
Which was some of the good stuff. That was some really good writing because who was the werewolf who dated Caroline? Barry Hot.
Mm-hmm.
I forget his name.
Tyler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tyler.
When his mom was drowned, which is the mayor, Klaus drowned her in the town square.
Oh yeah, when
God.
Silas killed Bonnie's dad in like a town meeting.
Oh my God! No, it was a town meeting or graduation.
No, it was a town meeting.
And Bonnie was already dead.
She was already dead, and she had to watch it. Ooh, her reaction
was mwah.
Mm-hmm. Don't tell me nothing about no Cat Graham now, okay? Look, but she did. But yeah, so I guess it's been 13 years of this entire universe. They said they had some plans for season 5 of Legacies. Julie Plec, she was talking about bringing in Damon and Elena's daughter, Stephanie.
Yep.
Which was mentioned, I guess, in like little snippets in Legacies.
Yeah, season 1.
Bringing her into the fold and introducing that character. I don't know what else they were really going to do beyond that, but honest, and there's talk about like there's more to this universe, and I'm like, is it really? Like, do we need it?
Is it Bonnie?
Right. I feel like it's drumming up.
You really don't have to. You really don't have to.
Because
I know folks will.
With what
we can get some new material. That'll be great, but it doesn't have to be this show.
It don't have to be this show.
Right. And like what they have is already pretty expansive. You know what I mean? I think I will give them I enjoy the continuity that they've done with these series.
Yes.
And how they're kind of, different, and they're so different in different ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Vampire Diaries is a little bit more teeny bopper, but very vampire. Originals is not that at all.
Originals is ripping your throat out, snapping your neck, putting a curse on you, and killing your whole family line.
Yeah.
Original is not going for it.
Yeah, and like Legacy,
Well-
you know, that Legacies has a different take, so it's that I will give them. But I don't know.
So
maybe. Oh, go ahead.
The way Legacies ended was so the entire show, which is an annoying fact. Caroline, who opened the school, may have been in a handful of episodes. She was supposed to be there at the school, but for some, I think Ricky said she had another child, and she was living her life. A lot of those actors are sort of done with that show because they can't be young and beautiful forever. And the show has some negative um, media around it based off of some of the actors that are in it that most people don't like anyway. And Julie Fleck, Alara.
Yes.
But hey, Marcus.
Hello.
Right. So Matt Davis is a jerk, and therefore we don't like him. Sorry, I'm just gonna say what it is. But
Alaric Saltzman.
right,
You should have died, Indiana Jones.
he should have stayed dead.
He's basically Indiana Jones, and
He
problematic
should've
as he
stayed.
was. And at the end of this season, Alaric did not die. He passed over his leadership of the school to Caroline, who finally popped up out of nowhere. Well, she was in Europe. And what made me mad was Caroline popped up looking fucking amazing.
She looked like she didn't. She was ready. She said, "I'm gonna stay ready because you don't. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready." She said, "I'm gonna stay looking
ready.
young."
I'm a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
She looked amazing. Attitude was the same. Hair was amazing. Outfit was amazing. She looked awesome. Candace, right?
Yeah, Candace Nicola or Candace King. I think they got divorced.
Oh shit!
I think they were getting divorced this year. But yeah, so when they started Legacy, she was in a couple of episodes, and then they were going to bring her back sooner, but they're also filming this during COVID, and then she had already had a baby. So when she was pregnant, so when her character was pregnant with the twins, she was actually pregnant too, and so she was raising the first baby, and then she got pregnant again, so she's got another baby. So, this was like a use it or lose it type of situation. So
yeah, for sure.
This
and
was
the
it.
Fans wanted her. Like,
yeah, they've been asking for her.
The lasting moments of her taking over and running the school, and Hope coming to a place where she's happy and she can say that, hey, my father and them built the school for us, and I run this school too. And so it gave me this energy. It was like, this is a fresh reset. Now we can go on to another story with these cast members. But if that doesn't, and they have petitions to bring it back on what is it, Netflix?
Yeah,
but those things never work. No. They never work.
No, I mean, because
although I don't know, I think they are actually. What was it that was?
Well, because number one, like because
I had canceled a while ago, and I was just like,
because if it's from the CW, it's either a Warner Brothers show or it's a Paramount show. Like it's one or the other. So either it's gonna go, they're gonna take that universe into HBO Max, or they're gonna put it on Paramount Plus. Whichever, that's so if someone's gonna pick it up, it should be one of the home stations, because Warner Brothers is not part of HBO. Like,
you know what? If HBO Max did another season of
that'd be a whole nother budget.
Yeah. Then people probably would maybe want to come back. But I think it ended in a way where, like, okay, they have a bright future ahead of them. Caroline is running the school, but Cleo, she's the Black Witch, and she also became a Fury, and she also became she gets whatever the three witches from Greek lore who can see a Fate. She was one of she's one of the Fates.
Yeah.
That's she is. And so she saw her future, and she apparently runs the school in the future. So it's like they gave you some things where you can see like brilliant things happening for the show, and they wrapped it up in a way where, like, okay, cool, we get they're gonna be happy and great.
Yeah. I mean, I'm indifferent, but if it goes to HBO and I get the budget, and like I don't know, but the thing, like, I know for because when you go to Facebook and you join the Facebook groups and you see your fans talking about it, like, golly, like
Mhm.
those groups are something else. But like, there's always this push for we want to see these older characters. A lot of those actors don't want to be on the show anymore.
Right.
For
Like,
multiple reasons.
multiple reasons. Like, Kat don't want to be on there anymore. The only way you can get Pauline on there is that they're directing the episode.
That's
Joseph
it.
was like, "I'll come back for this little 30
I'll
seconds.
I'll record this and send
I'll
it in for
record it
sure.
because I'm already on HBO Max doing Titans." Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
He's like, I'm already doing Titans. Like, I've already been through a couple different things. I'm gonna do Titans.
See HBO Max like really investing in like revamping this again. Like, give them another.
I don't think so because I haven't heard
I
anything
don't think
about it.
so.
And this
But even
story-
then, though, like,
Oh,
but like
HBO
even the actress that plays Hope, she's like, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready
Josie
to
already
go.
left.
if
Yeah.
you don't
So
care about Vampire Diaries, they got
They
Euphoria.
don't.
it's a put. They'll
They have-
put the reruns.
They got Degrassi. Shit.
and Pretty Little Liars.
Look,
The
I
new
just-
one, yeah.
you know,
See?
That's
And
true.
Gossip Girl.
That's
And Gossip Girl. Oh yeah.
That's
So the question I want to ask, and I think we already know the answer, do we think that it deserves to be revived?
Nah.
not revived. I think
Do
they could
we
give
want
it
another occult show? Yeah, sure. We're always down for a new series or whatever that deals with witches, werewolves, and vampires. But
Yeah.
do we want it in the Vampire Diaries universe? Nah.
I'm happy with the memories. I'm good.
Thanks for the memories.
Even though they weren't so great. Yes, exactly that.
And Bonnie Bennett, we still
Who?
love you. Justice for Bonnie Bennett.
Legacies tastes like TVD, but it not as sweet though. Sorry.
Not as sweet. And Julie
Not as
Fleck,
sweet.
you low down, and you
Oh
got a
no,
new
not
vampire show on
Legacies is
Netflix.
actually TVD made with Linda.
Yep. There
Yep.
you go.
Yep, that's
Splenda.
what it is. With a splash of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Just a smidgen. They tried it. They
They did try it. One billion for 3 seasons, as if.
No, see, you can't do that. You can't do
Really?
that.
When
It
there
didn't
were
work.
3 seasons?
No.
Or they didn't do that.
Say that again.
Wait, they did that? No, Villain of the
Legacy-
It was the same villain for the first 3 seasons, and they had months of the week that villain was also sending them every week.
Oh, they straight up Power Rangers that bitch.
Yep.
They did. They did.
That was Rita. Rita and Zed.
Rita is Malivore, and
Yeah.
Malivore was supposed to be this big bad that everybody feared, even the gods. We found out at the end of the show because he can absorb anything. Whatever. It's a whole bullshit, but whatever.
Not now, maybe in 8 years. Okay, so like the thing is, like there's been talk of like rebooting the TVD like Vampire Diaries already, and I'm like, y'all, it just ended like 5 years ago.
2017, baby. 2017.
Like,
she ended.
can we breathe? Can we breathe?
I think like legally they need like 10 years and then they can kind of come back.
Look, I don't know.
And we're gonna have a.
That's how I feel about bringing Wolverine into the MCU.
Let's not do it.
We don't need that.
Let's not even put that out there.
No.
We're gonna have 2 lesbian vampires. Elena's gonna be a lesbian, and then there's gonna be 2 girl vampires. They're gonna be black and Asian in 8 years. That's how they do everything.
Talk to me when I'm 50. I'll look at it then, man. I don't know.
Sure.
Like, talk to me then. I don't think I need that
of
now.
lesbian vampires. Speaking
Oh,
of
yeah,
lesbian
First Kill.
vampires, that reminds me that Castlevania Nocturne will be coming out soon.
Oh, that's a different one. Okay.
Oh shit.
I was in the First Kill.
Mhm.
Castlevania, you said?
Oh, well, yeah, the Castlevania animated series on Netflix
Yeah.
has 4 glorious seasons. Well, they're
Oh my
doing
God,
a sequel series.
Okay, cool.
And
That
I am
wow.
juiced. It follows Richter Belmont, who is, I believe, Trevor Belmont's son. It might be his grandson. I don't know. But I'm excited to see it because Castlevania was that show.
Wait,
So,
I don't even like cartoons anymore, but that was bomb.
Did they wrap up Castlevania? Like, did they, or did they?
I don't think it's done. I don't think it's done.
I don't think it's done either.
yeah, they finished the first series.
Oh.
It didn't feel complete.
Mm.
So I think we should take a quick commercial break so we can get into Charmed. Because we are an hour in. And I'm okay with going a little longer so we can discuss Charmed. Just saying.
Oh, yes.
That
So,
part.
like,
I got
like-
wine, whole bottle. What was?
I need to get more something. So
Double up those commercials, girl.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. All right. Let's be about 44 seconds. Here we go, y'all. Bye.
Run, girl, run.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
And all of
Okay,
those.
so like I couldn't actually like run and get alcohol because I'm upstairs. Like y'all, if y'all didn't know, like I'm in the process of moving, so like I'm upstairs in my new little roomish office area. Yes, sweetie, I call for you. Can hold on, come up here, Clara.
I was gonna say, can you get one of the?
And so like I'm upstairs, so it would have taken me longer than the 44 seconds to do that. So,
Go on mute, Ricky, please.
Look, I'm about to.
Wait, go ahead, girl.
Yes.
She needs a drink. Ricky needs a drink, and she'll be back. It was all right.
She is going to get her own.
Wait,
drink.
do we even have a game word today?
Oh, we're just drinking.
We're just all just drinking, guys.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're hearing us speaking, drink. That's
Drink.
how it works. That's how this works.
Ricky, I love you. I'm almost done with this whole bottle, and I'm gonna have this for dinner.
Look,
She's back already? Girl, that's fast.
I didn't go get it. No, that's what children are for.
Oh.
You can't say that on the air.
Oh, I'm sorry. My child can't bring me things from the kitchen.
Of course she can.
Exactly.
Smell her breath when she drops it off.
She don't do all that. No. She know better. She know better. Anyways, I'm charmed. The beef continued.
The beef continued.
So, much like with Vampire Diaries ending, and yes, thank you so much, sweetheart. Put it right there, right there, right there. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby.
We love
it. So, if you guys remember with the reboot of Charmed, there was beef between the original and the reboot, and like it's so crazy. So, but like the problem with the reboot when they were rebooting it, when they announced the reboot, was that it was in a succession with other reboots that were happening. So like there's the Charm reboot, there was a Roswell reboot, there was another reboot happening. I think was that the same time that they did
maybe I think at the time
Charlie's Angels
was Dynasty.
Dynasty was about to be rebooted too, like but Dynasty is good though. I don't.
It got canceled.
Walker, Texas Ranger,
right?
School, like high society kind of.
I love Dynasty and Roswell.
Mm-hmm. I didn't watch Roswell.
It's basically original.
Right, so, and I love the original Roswell too. That was my show. As a kid, growing up in the 90s and watching WB. But so what they did was, number one, it was a reboot and a line of reboots. Number two, I think because they had
Fuller House. Fuller House was one.
Fuller House, yes. They had advertised it as like a feminist. They said a feminist spin on the original, which is like a slap in the face because number one, Charmed itself is fairly feminist, but like the concept was created by a woman, and then clearly by the end of the series, like the three main stars, female cast members, like had a very big hand in how the show was by the end of the series. Like they were executive producers by the end of the series.
Yeah, Alyssa Milano and Holly Marie Combs were both executive producers for the last 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Rose McGowan said no.
Oh well, more power to her though. But I'm just saying though, like so I think when they first did that from the jump, that just put a bad taste in people's mouths. And then, Rose McGowan was going through all her things with the Harvey Weinstein stuff, and like it's just there was beef from the get go.
And also there was 2 concepts. The first concept was for this show to take place in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And another set of witches or whatever it's going to be in the 70s. Maybe have to deal with their mother and all that, but I don't know. But then they came up with this new story. The problem was that what was popular, that all these reboots, they were tapping into the original cast to sort of push forward the new narrative, which is what's necessary if you want to reboot something and have a successful fan base.
But this one didn't do that at all.
It was supposed to be diverse, but because the leads were Latino, Afro Latino, but you can tint the original Charm ones 1.5 shades and they look exactly the same. Mm-hmm. So whatever. They were supposed to be diverse, even though they didn't really practice that much Santeria.
Oh yeah.
They still were doing other spells. Now they were diverse in picking different spells. As far as they did do spells in Spanish, and in the first season they had a character named Gavin who was Haitian, and they did some voodoo and some other things. But it wasn't, if you're going to have a show about Charmed, and in the first episode in their Book of Shadows, for all the Charm fans, they had a picture and a passage about Melinda Warren, which is the Salem witch, which I don't understand how that ties into Santeria or yes. Yes.
Well, they weren't trying to. Oh yes, for this fucking thing. Yes. I'm so here for it. But clearly, they didn't do any research. They very J.K. Rowling this one.
Ooh.
Right.
So
I think you would have been disappointed because, like, we have this opportunity, right? To have these POC witches to not only show that side of magic, but their actual magic, and they didn't take that opportunity to do so. And then, for example, it was, listen, I'm all for inclusion of anything. I'm all for inclusion if it makes sense and if it drives the story. But every line on this show was about take down the patriarchy or trans this or this, that. It was always so heavily political where it didn't even feel like they were trying to push that agenda. It was more so like it was an agenda and they were exploiting it. And so that was a turnoff for me.
Mm-hmm. And I think also, like, so with this show here, it's like they didn't take the opportunity, because you had a diverse cast, you could have dabbled into a different area of magic. Like, you didn't take the opportunity to really explore that as its own separate universe, own separate thing. And then you pulled a lot from the original series. Like that first half of the first season was a major plot within like 10 episodes.
Yeah.
For those who watched it, they defeated so I am just talking about all the negative things. The source, yeah.
Yeah. Like the first season.
They handled the source in the first season. And if you watch the original show, the source is nothing to be played with. Now, I will tell you,
how you gonna beat the source on your first outing?
Thank you. Like
man.
Like the source was what, season 4 or 5 of Charmed?
Yeah.
I mean, which time we beat him a few times, but it's just like season 5 when Paige was there,
right?
So it was season 4 and 5.
Right, so like
Cole became the source.
Right, like there was a big buildup, but like in this one, it literally happened within the first season, and then like, what do you do from here?
It was so disappointing.
Right.
But what I did like
was you beat the source, where do you go?
That was the problem. That was the actual problem. Now they did take some liberties that I did like. So the source wasn't a person. The source is actually the source of all magic. And whoever consumed that, the villain was trying to consume that source, and they were a demon. And one of the charmed ones end up consuming the source instead, but they became villainous too. As we know, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So that's what however that quote is. But that's what ended up happening to the sister. And speaking of the sisters, there were two sisters in the beginning and their mother, and that's Maggie and Melanie. Melanie and Maggie. Melanie is a grad student teacher, and she's a lesbian, and Maggie is a sorority girl at that same college. I love all that. I think that's great. They find out after their mother is killed that they have a sister, a half sister, who's actually the oldest, and the powers are telekinesis, freezing time, and I can hear people's thoughts. So I like that they took liberties with the younger.
Yeah.
So that sounds like what show to me. Exactly.
Like what?
The original show.
Oh, well, yeah.
And I probably would have complained if they didn't use those powers. So I guess,
damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like I think that was also an issue with the show. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. And
because honestly, we would have been mad if they didn't have those powers.
But the parts that I saw, I enjoyed. Like I enjoyed the show. I like the dynamics. I think the actresses were great. I enjoy Sarah Jeffrey. She's in The Descendants. She plays Princess Audrey. So
she does.
So like I enjoy her.
Sarah Jeffrey.
That's Maggie.
That's Maggie.
She's Maggie.
She's phenomenal, by the way. I am so in love with her, and then also
she's so cute.
She's so cute.
But one of the things that I really liked is that they kept her to like Phoebe's archetype. So like
to the T.
To the T. But even in like the things that she says, so she's always got these quips. She's always got these Batman and Robin one-liners, and she's holy Batman, holy Batcave Batman, like whatever it is. She's always got something like that for it, and that was very much Phoebe in the original. So I was like, okay, this is.
She was an empath. She dated a half demon who ended up being the source. For a moment,
like Cole.
Yeah. So like she did have the same story arc as Phoebe. Not as important. No shade.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
What was
it? But it was. They did do them differently, though. They did.
Do.
I mean, they still approached it differently with a modern take, I suppose, because that's my opinion.
The thing is, though, is that the difference between Maggie and her love interest and like Phoebe and Cole, there was more buildup with Cole.
Oh yes,
there's so like
it was a love story.
The Maggie's love story with her love person who's a source is like literally happened in that first season. So like you're not getting that buildup and like that devastation of like, okay, you want this couple to be a thing, but like this couple should not be a thing.
Should not be a thing.
Or there's some complications with this couple being a thing.
The writers from this series wanted to hit all the story beats of the original series, but with like none of the time. They were just like, this was a big thing in the first season or in the first series. People love this. We got to do this. We got to make sure that they fight the source. We got to make sure that she has her own Cole. We have to make sure. So they're just throwing these things at the series, but without all the buildup that the last series did.
Haven't we said that also when we get our reboots, we want them to give us like, you know what I mean? Give us the nostalgia right at the get-go and get it over with.
So like I wonder about that. Like were they trying to get something major in the beginning for them to be able to go off and build something else later? Like try to hook everybody with the nostalgia of like a similar storyline and then go from there. But like that can be deceiving. Or like it doesn't necessarily carry over for audience, because sometimes when you do that, the audience is expecting you to basically continue what you did in the first season and not expand.
I think certain things they probably could have done. They could have probably just done certain parts of that better, like build the relationships for longer.
Maybe that was the problem.
Maybe keep some of like the plot devices and the plot scenes that were the same, keep those the same, but the character development, give yourself time to actually make that.
Julia, you nailed it. That's what they were missing. They didn't develop the girls' relationship as sisters. They didn't develop the girls' relationship with their counterparts or their partners in the time. So when people died or people left the show,
I will
really
say
give a
no.
shit because
the sisterhood. I think they did do that justice.
I didn't like it.
Justice, but that's because they address it every episode. So that's
well, because they try to combine we have the older sister, like they try to put Paige the Paige insert as the older sister, and the older sister wasn't really giving Prue.
Right.
Like we're expecting that older sister to give us Prue, and she wasn't giving us Prue. Right. She wasn't really giving us
Paige
either. And so what was the technically the middle child was Piper. So and she necessarily wasn't giving us Piper either.
I feel like she was
Mel was giving us more Prue, I guess. She was giving us more Prue and Paige than the older sister was. But I liked the older sister. I think she was a great actress.
I loved her, yeah. I think
that was the problem, was this was a great actress. She had a great storyline. And she had the love story with the White Lighter, and there was some build up with that, but that didn't pan out either.
No.
That didn't make any sense. I think that was another thing that was an issue too. There were some things that didn't pan out.
But there were some beautiful things. Instead of them just having their abilities, they were the witch of time, the witch of emotion, and the witch of movement, of space. So they had different things associated with them that was pulled from other magical practices, which I thought was really smart and unique.
I also really enjoyed the science that Macy brought, and I missed
Macy.
I missed that in the 4th season, but I really appreciated how they brought in the third power and how that was, that one worked through art, for example. So that to me, that was
so that's where the Prue is supposed to come in, because Prue was the one that was good at making potions at the beginning before she died, and then it became Piper. So that's where that Prue potion making thing came in, and she had little parts, but I really enjoyed Macy, and I was kind of sad to see that she left.
Although
I was too.
Potion making, they passed it on to Mel a little bit more, because Mel, I feel like, it was really the queen of the potions when she lost their powers. She was like, well, I need to be prepared. So then,
that's true.
Then she she really went in hard on that, and then she was the oldest at the time. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't.
No, she's the middle. But that goes to your point about taking
she becomes the oldest by the 4th season.
She was the oldest. I think I don't remember how they explain where she fits into everything, but the fact that
I couldn't even tell you about that new one that came in.
I love her. I love the new girl. I love her.
She had spunk. She was beautiful.
But she wasn't a sister, right?
No.
Ew.
I did. Okay, that was something that I feel like maybe the fans probably didn't care for, but as people of the community, we understand that one. So it's I care for that one. I think that was
so they painted this picture of sisterhood, not just blood sisters. Even though technically she did have a bone marrow transplant of Macy's. So she does have the blood running through her. So they technically are blood sisters, right?
Oh, play cousins. Okay.
They play cousins. Hey, play mama. Hey, play cousin. So
they play cousins.
That's exactly what they are. Michaela, which is her name. Michaela was so cool because she was fresh. She was spunky. She was Paige. And I think that she could have revitalized, and she did revitalize this show. And I would have loved to see her mature into that role even further. But we talked about handling all this stuff in the beginning and where do you go from there. I thought in season 2, in the premiere, when they destroyed the Book of Shadows and got put into witches' protection, I thought that was creative. I thought that was different. I mean, the Hollowells would never have that book blown up, but whatever. Right. You bitch, you would never.
Mm-mm.
You
And
could
also,
never.
I really did enjoy the elder. What was her name? The last elder.
Oh yeah, I loved her too.
She was very what's her face? She was very Grams. You know what I mean? Without
She
actually.
was Grams. She gave us that Grams that we needed.
Yeah. I thought she was great in that role.
And I rolled my eyes that Harry and Macy started dating. But I was like, okay, sure, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so mean. That is actually accurate.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Where did this come from?
Yeah, see, I had to make sure I had something on here.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So that's season 2, and then they had some really good characters like Abigail. I could have watched a show about Abigail. Abigail was actually my favorite character on the show.
So, like, I heard there was some issues with fans. So, like, fans were like upset because like there was like it looked like they were gonna pair Harry and Abigail together instead of having Macy and Harry together. Like, I don't know, because they were doing some will they won't they with Harry and Macy for a good bit.
They were doing that, and then Abigail had a huge crush on Harry, and Harry took. You know, at one point at the end when Macy died, I was like, just take Harry too, so we can just start fresh.
Right.
Because the guy that was in Hamilton, he joined the cast, and he was Maggie's love interest. What's his name? What is his name? With the curly hair, he had the curls put on him.
David Diggs.
Jordan.
Oh, okay.
Jordan was a great addition to the cast. He ended up becoming a white lighter. Nobody knows how, but he became a white lighter.
We're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Guess what? You don't get an answer.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, I guess that was supposed to be in season 5, but you know how that goes.
Well,
speaking. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, like speaking of that, so from what we learned, like they were pretty sure like it could go either way with being renewed or canceled. I think they've always figured like it could go either way because of such a polarization with the fans, and particularly the OG fans versus the newer ones. So they were trying to end season 4 in a way that like it could go on or it'd be like whatever. So for that last scene in the series finale, hold on, y'all. I gotta get my gifts ready. Where is it?
Alert!
Spoiler alert!
Alert! Life alert!
Spoiler alert!
Definitely life alert.
So that in that last scene, we have the Hallowell sisters, not the Hallowell sisters. The what are they?
Vera.
The Vera sisters and their play cousin. They go to sorry. They go to a portal, and they end up at the Hallowell sisters' house, Hallowell Manor. And so their thought process, the show's thought process was, okay, so we're going to open up multiverse here. We're metaverse
because
multiverse.
That's what's hot right now. Everybody has to have multiverse.
We got a multiverse going on. And so they were thinking that this is all part of a similar universe. So I'm going to play, if it lets me play it, I'm going to play the video that you gave us, to Mom, real quick.
Okay.
See if it'll let me do it. Let me make sure they can hear it too.
Copyright claim.
Okay. Here we go.
Oh.
No sound.
Valium. There's no Valium.
No sound.
Yeah, I don't
know. No sound? Okay, never mind.
No.
That's
anyways. Yeah, go ahead.
So this is a friend of mine, and we talk about Charmed often. She interviewed the showrunner of Charmed, and he was like, the idea of the triquetra, which is the symbol that's on the book, is 3 overlapping realities. And that one reality is the OG Charm, the Hollywells. The second overlap is the Veras, and the third one, which is they're going to venture into the next season, was a group of male Charmed ones. And so we were gonna exactly right.
Right.
So we were gonna find out what happens when men become charmed ones and
And-
why they
and
get
that,
host
like-
of power.
And why you probably shouldn't have male charm ones
Yeah.
too.
So here for it. What?
Exactly.
Ah!
And so they already reached out to Alyssa and Holly and all of them to see who was available. But you know those girls are not having it.
They were not.
They were
Which is
not having it.
because that would have been
So strangely enough, I would have thought at least Alyssa Milano.
yeah.
I would have thought Alyssa Milano.
Why wouldn't they be up for it though?
Because
Holly Combs wouldn't have been, because she was probably the most outspoken about not being happy about the reboot. Rose McGowan
no.
had said it sucked before the thing even aired. Alyssa might have been doing it.
What was their problem? Because
I think because of how they announced it. Number one, like, they weren't getting much input from the original folks, and I think how they promoted it in the beginning, how they announced it, was saying it was more like a feminist take, along with being that more diverse. Like, it was kind of like they were shitting on the original and all the story building and world building that they did within, like, it was a very long running show.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot to live up to, honestly.
But it was very, very white.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like, there's
it was
no,
the 90s
like,
too.
I mean, like, there's no like mistake in that. Like, it's true.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's
though.
no excuse. We also have Living Single and Girlfriends and Martin and the George Lopez show in the 90s.
What network was that on? Exactly. That's the difference.
And the Parenthood. If you want to go there, Jamie Foxx, the Parenthood, like, sister, all of them were also WB.
So, if you think, but also like those
about how, you know, because if it's feminist, they're kind of really diving into how they treated, you know, their storylines a little bit. How it was very, you know, there's these three powerful witches, but here they are succumbing to the love for a man, like, every 5 seconds.
Right. I think how they initially announced it may have rubbed the folks from the originals the wrong way. And then also they probably didn't get much input while they were developing this idea too.
That's the big problem.
And so when you do that, and particularly when you have like some of the actors towards the end that were definitely putting some vested interest, like when you have some of the main characters being like executive producers, like they had a say in how some of those things turned out towards the end of the series. I think that it really just rubbed them the wrong way.
Yeah.
And not only that, yeah, and not only that, you're acting like Charmed. These actresses are, you know, they just live in their regular lives. They still go to cons. They have a huge fan base till this day.
I think it's like the longest running like series for regular television.
Supernatural.
Well, it was until Supernatural.
Right, Supernatural. So, but that was the longest one with like a female-led cast too.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Like,
for sure.
It's like Charmed itself broke some barriers for what it was.
And your comments shitted on that. But I think more so, like, you didn't even invite us to even say, hey, do you guys want to do cameos? Do you want to usher us in? Even if you're not playing yourself.
Can we get some advisement on, like, how things should, like, what are your thought process on these stories? Like, how should we build this? Like, there was none of that from what I can tell.
Oh, no, it wasn't. And they let Twitter have it. All of them.
All of them. So,
but technically, who started that Twitter battle, though?
Probably
Piper. Or did the OGs start it? Because here's the other thing. Are they just being spiteful? You get me? Are they just like lashing out because the OGs came for them and
and no,
trying to reboot? And so then they're like, well, fine, we're just gonna, you know, if that's how you want to play it, we're just gonna shit on all your OG shit and, you know, on Twitter because you poke the bear kind of a thing.
But it's also like but
no,
the fact that they talked about. But the fact they were talking about, like, they were trying to get folks from the original to cameo. Okay, well, by this point, it's been 4 seasons, and then one of y'all, like, y'all didn't mend that relationship at any point between the announcement of the series to now. Like, y'all didn't necessarily mend that relationship to bridge that gap for a cameo to happen.
Right. You're right.
So whose fault is that too?
I think it's a shared
I'd say
responsibility.
both.
True.
It takes two to tango, so I'd say both, Your Honor.
True. All right. So with the
But-
end of the series, the beef continued into the Twitter streets.
Mhm.
So I gotta show this. Okay. So
As an
So Kurt-
original charm, oh sorry.
go ahead. I want you to read it.
As an original charm writer, I could tell you what happened next. Piper, Phoebe, and Paige vanquished the three imposters right after they invaded Hollowell Manor. Then at Hollycombs blew up the portal to their other universe and quipped, "We wish them well." Hashtag series finales. Hashtag Charm Reunion movie.
Because
That
that's the thing that people have been wanting to. So
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been rumors about that on Netflix happening for the longest.
yes, and so there was that, and then that was Curtis Keel. That was one of the original Charm writers, and then this is what the reboot Charm writers had to say and respond to that.
Unlike the OG version of the franchise, we had a strict no asshole hiring policy in the writers' room. It was the 90s. We feel mostly sorry for these people because, unlike them, we actually like each other and have the best time. Onward.
Which, to their defense, Alyssa Milano and Rose McGowan don't get along. Alyssa Milano doesn't just now really just getting okay with Shannon Doherty. So I mean,
Rose McGowan is problematic anyway, but yeah.
I mean, so like it ain't all rainbows and cookies with the original.
But Holly Marie Combs and Shannon Doherty have been best friends forever.
Yes, actually, did you know that Shannon Doherty and Sarah Michelle Gellar are besties too?
That just would be the perfect day for me to just walk into them.
So there was a TikTok talking.
We need a Buffy Charmed crossover like now.
Shut up.
I would die.
Shut up. So there was a video of Sarah Michelle Gellar interviewing Shannon Doherty, and Shannon was asking Sarah, have the kids watch Buffy? Yeah, you know, her kids with Freddie Prinze Jr. If they watch Buffy. And she's like, "Oh no, we've seen a little bit." Da, da, da. Okay, so have they seen Charmed? I'm like, "Oh yeah, they've seen the 3 seasons." Yeah, the 3 seasons. The shade. The shade.
Oh.
The shade of it all.
The shade.
She was like, "It's 3 seasons and a reboot, right?" Yeah, 3 seasons and a reboot. So you know.
Oh, that's funny.
So I'm just saying. What'd you say, Jermaine?
I said, Paige who?
Right, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So, you know, I'm just saying, it ain't all unicorns and rainbows with the originals anyway.
They're not, but I'm sure we can get them together.
Right. Okay, so this one's a little harder to read, so I'm going to read this one. So this one is Curtis Keel's, like, explanation for his feelings for the whole thing, and I kind of understand it. So he says, the idea that there are more charmed ones than just pre-Piper, Phoebe, and Paige is retrofit nonsense meant to legitimize the reboot. I call bullshit. Yes, there is a multiverse. We saw plenty of alternate universes in the original show, so that's not a new concept at all. However, in the Charmed multiverse, Prue, Piper, Phoebe, Paige are always the charmed ones in every universe. Otherwise, it's not Charmed. It's just another show pretending to be Charmed because Paramount decided they could make more money by slapping the title on it.
Facts.
My problem with the Charmed reboot is that from day one, it pretended like the original Charmed didn't exist, yet it borrowed a ton of ideas from it. We worked very hard on the OG series for many years, and to disregard that is offensive and disrespectful to us and our fans. Now at the 11th hour, with the cancellation act swinging, they reverse course and decide to embrace the original Charmed in a desperate attempt to save the reboot. They realized it was a huge mistake to alienate fans of the OG series by ignoring it. Too little, too late. Boom. I can agree with that.
Yep.
I can agree. I can see that from the very get-go because, number one, like, a lot of fans were not wanting a reboot in the first place.
Yeah.
They would rather have had a reunion movie.
We wanted a reunion or a sequel.
Right.
Yeah.
So you was either that or nothing at all. They would have been okay with watching all the reruns on Netflix. And you have this instead. So granted, a lot of fans like gave it, like knocked it off on the first go before even seeing it and didn't really give it a chance. I believe that. I believe plenty of fans did not give it a chance.
Yeah, I agree.
I think there were some good things to that reboot.
I agree too.
But I also think that they did not mend that relationship that they should have had with the original writers and cast to at least able for them to be able to have like a better chance of being able to be renewed and like have those chances of having cameos if they wanted to, like, and just get some guidance. So like, that's it is what it is.
And then they didn't even watch the original show, the actresses. I think Macy said, and I like Macy, but she said she didn't watch the original show. That pissed me
Oh.
off from the beginning.
Oh man, you could have binged you could have binged a season.
How dare you?
Right?
I think that
You know
all
what that
the
reminds me of?
the animosity probably is, you know what I mean?
This is work. If that's like I'm taking on Jean Grey and I don't read a comic, yeah,
That's
right.
Right. I at least would have read a wiki.
Yeah.
Bryan Singer did say no comic books were allowed on set, and that nobody was allowed to read comic books, and that they were only supposed to read the script.
The problem with that is you already have to deal with fans that are expecting a certain interpretation of things that are already there. Like you have source material, and if fans are aware of the source material, they're going to expect you to pull from that source material
to use it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. And so if you're saying don't use the source material, completely ignore it, I didn't participate in it, or I didn't want, like, it's, and you're not able to deliver on that, you're gonna rub some fans the wrong way. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna happen. Like, it's one thing if you at least read it and like you tried, you attempted, and it fell flat. Charge.
But that's your job as an actor,
like,
is
nah,
to do your research.
Right.
You have to do your research.
Right, exactly. But if you just like, nah, I don't want any influence. I want my own interpretation completely. Like that's your prerogative. But as far as like dealing with fans and like how it comes out on film, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard when you're with like reboots or retellings of things.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
The safest way is to always tap back to the original.
The being the type of fan that I am, of all the fandoms I've been a part of and touched and all that mess. Mm-hmm. There have been plenty of reboots and rehashings that I've watched, that I've seen, that I've been a part of, and I'm like, some of them, like DuckTales and Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, they, to some extent, Sailor Moon Crystal, I'm not going to say all the way, to some extent. They hit the marks very perfectly, very well, and they do a really great job of rebooting and retelling the story, but still having a sense, like they give you all the familiar beats that you, as an old fan of this project, of this IP, of whatever, as an older fan, watch the original, they hit all the familiar beats that you're looking for, but it's still fresh enough to be something brand new, something that still gets you excited, something that where the familiar things are more like something neat to see rather than something that they're just going to act like never happened.
Right.
Where there are other reboots like Masters of the Universe Revelation, She-Ra, I can't think of another one that I hated.
I didn't hate She-Ra though.
I couldn't finish it.
I like She-Ra.
A lot of people like She-Ra. People that were fans of the original She-Ra
Didn't like it.
could not get into the new She-Ra,
I
either
was one.
because of the way that the first season happened or because of the discourse
Hmm.
that came before the series even launched. But that's another thing is
Yeah.
when they reboot
So I
and
made
the
it.
new series goes out of their way either to shit on the original series or to just be like, we're doing our own, like they take the name but they want to disregard and ignore the original series and be like, we're better,
Exactly.
we're doing our own thing. Like the showrunner for the She-Ra series was like, well, I never watched She-Ra, I didn't really like it, I thought it was cheesy, and I made up my
That's not
own
what you
stories. And I'm like,
said. Oh.
Do it.
That's not how you garner fans. No, like no.
No,
Like if you're talking about it being a
and
reboot, like you might as well make your own, like make up a whole brand new show. Like
that's the thing. If the reboot was not called Charm, and it was about three Afro Latino
if
or
it was
whatever
his own
Latino
show, there
witches,
would be no problem.
I
they
think it
do
wouldn't be a
that.
problem at all.
They took
I don't
out
think it
like
would be
the
a problem at
whole
all.
power of three and like the source and like that the white, like some of like those major components, those major like names,
Yeah,
like white
Potentia
lighter,
Tress.
yeah, like those things. They would
Mm-hmm.
have, it would have been fine. It would have been because we would have loved another
Which show? Yeah,
POC witch show on there.
yeah. But that's where they messed up, and that's so true, Jermaine.
Yeah, because that was it was to his detriment. Um, so so I don't think it'll come back. I don't think it'll come
No,
back. Unfortunately,
and
so
I
and
don't
as
know.
hard as
I
I
mean,
was
I
on this,
think that actually
it's canceled.
go go for it,
Oh, I was
Simone.
thinking, as hard as I was on this show, week after week after week, I still kept watching it. The last season, I was like, I actually want another season because I think the new sister brought something fresh to the show, and I think that what the showrunner outlined, bring back my girl. What I think the showrunner outlined for what he was going to do next, if he could have got the sisters, I mean, it could have been Wyatt, it could have been Chris. It didn't have to be the people that were familiar with casting. It could have been someone that's close. It could have been hell Daryl, the
mm-hmm.
police officer. I mean, it could have been some other different things to say. Oh my gosh, we're in the Charm Wars universe, but we're here to
Right.
solve a mystery. He did say in that video that majority of the time was going to be in the male. The majority of the time was going to be in the male version of the Charm Wars, which I think is would be very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting to see male
Plot
witches.
twist: the
Yeah,
male charmed ones is the cast of Noah's Ark.
get off
Stop.
of here, get off of here right now.
Right. We're not.
And Julian, I hate that you haven't finished it, but from what you have 2 episodes left in the 4th season, would you like to see more?
Yeah, I would see more. I would watch more. Honestly, I did like this one.
I
Okay.
I liked the first season. Like I enjoyed the first season. I wish I would have continued. It's just hard to watch all the things, but
But
like I would have enjoyed. And I just think that I personally think that the biggest hangup was the pushback with the original fans and the
Yeah,
original writers, and then like it was always on the. I feel like it was always on the chopping block at some point.
it
You know, like
was. I feel like it too.
it was always on the chopping block, and like whether or not the CW thought it was necessary. Granted, the CW ain't got much of a lineup right now anyway.
Ooh.
It don't got about
Mm-mm.
it don't.
be out here
They
chopping.
got a handful of shows.
It got a handful of shows,
Out here chopping stuff.
but you know I feel like I
It's
feel like it could have gone on somewhere else. Maybe Paramount might pick it back up.
I
I
think
would actually enjoy
being
that.
named Charmed, I think that we all would have wished that it could have tied more to the OG. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But as its own, I don't hate it. I think it was
No,
very, I thought it was nice. You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
They did a lot of hats off, what is that? Hat off?
Hats off. Yeah, like yeah,
So, like,
some nods,
Nods.
nods.
Yeah.
Nods to,
But like they could have honestly, if they like you said, like if they really wanted to, they could have. This could have been a whole different thing. It could have been outside of this Charmed franchise, and I would watch it. I would have given it a chance regardless.
Brujas.
Right.
Okay, let's see what this is about.
Exactly. Yes, I would have given it a chance, and then
Yes.
I would have gone from there. Like I would have done that off of that merit alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I think of it in that way, like removing essence of charm from the reboot, it would have been a good show. I give it a hard time because I love Charm so much, but there are positive things about this show that was actually really good, and I want to see it continue on, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a shame.
Well,
I really like Roxy. Like they just introduced her. Like, what a great character.
Her power, I can't wait till her power manifests differently so she doesn't draw. She can just think it. I can't wait for that to start happening.
Yes. That's Michaela.
Roxy
was the bar owner.
Great. Yeah. And that was such a good.
So
love
wait.
the whole candle blowing match thing. It was so good.
Yeah. The bar was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How was Michaela's power different from Macy's?
So Macy's power, of course, was telekinesis, and she could do like a force field. And before the Book of Shadows happened, she had demon sight because she was also half demon, and she had pyrokinesis.
Wow.
So she had a lot. So, but Michaela, actually, I know we're running out of time, but all the witches on that show on the reboot are overpowered. But Michaela had the ability of manifestation. So she'll draw anything she draws will happen. It'll manifest.
Yeah.
Almost like Billy's projection power.
Is that like
basically.
a precognition or?
No, not precog. More like projection. You know how Billy could say, "You guys are just cold-hearted assassins," and then her parents turn into assassins. Or you're gonna suck the life out of this place, and the flowers all die. Yeah. It's basically the same thing. She just has to draw it for it to happen.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not that useful at first, right? But
right. An illusion or whatever.
Like, so essentially, like there was a lot more potential if they just kind of if they didn't bank it on the charmed name, which is sad.
Yeah, for sure. And I was excited to see her power grow.
Mm. Well, y'all, it's 10:25. It's bedtime, y'all. I'm supposed to have my bonnet on right now.
Yeah, she was supposed to have her bonnet.
It's time for bed.
I
was supposed to have my bonnet tonight. but Tamon shamed me. Me.
Monique said it best.
Which one you called it? The Bonnie bonnet?
Bonnie bonnet.
The Bonnie bonnet.
Which honestly, I don't think we ever saw Bonnie wear a bonnet, so that ain't real. So no. Much like we didn't see Olivia Pope wear a bonnet. That ain't real.
They were like,
bonnet's name.
Of like this lady from back in time. She's like, I will not put on a bonnet. She said, absolutely. She's like, you can put whatever you want, but I'm not putting on a fucking bonnet.
No, it's my bonnet right here. It's this nice little silk bonnet. Like I got so I'm gonna plug this Mystique Naturals. I love this bonnet, but I came with their little kit that they have. So Mystique Naturals does color wax, and it's specifically made for textured hair. The owner has sister locks. Yeah, she has sister locks, and so so part of it like the
wax, and then like, it changes the color.
So instead of like dyeing your hair, it's just like it looks like a gel.
Okay, that's awesome.
Pomade or something like that. So like it's different colors, and you put in your hair, and then it'll stay. And you can wash it out the next day or whatever.
Oh, like a rinse. I love that.
Yes, yeah. And so, like, it came with this. I got the little kit, and it came with some samples, and because I love it stuff. But it came with a bonnet and a matching pillow cover.
Oh,
I know, right?
And they give you this pillow cover, right? Protect all your hair. Yes,
right. Because sometimes I'm too tired to actually remember to put my bonnet on. So if I have my silk pillow cover, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then but it helps with making sure the color doesn't transfer to like ear sheets and stuff like that.
Oh, got it.
Even though you're supposed to wear your bonnet anyway. Just saying.
Your Bonnie bonnet.
Yeah, because
My bonnet.
it's a whole different, you know.
Mm-hmm. It's like, so
Nice.
just in case I forget my bonnet, I have my silk pillowcase.
Before we close, Jermaine, you're definitely giving me someone who doesn't want their identity known on an interview, and
Just
they're completely
change his voice.
I really think that Charmed.
No, Jermaine, no.
We lost him.
I just needed him to find a ring light. Dang.
Okay.
Right, guys. How can we fundraise? How can we,
Guys,
Look,
please
Kickstarter?
Patreon.
We got a Patreon. We got a Patreon account. Shoot.
Oh, okay, we have a Patreon. We need to
We got a Patreon.
Help him, please.
We got a whole ass Patreon. But also like I could send him one of my ring lights. But no, he just needed some light on the subject. Anyways, so thank y'all for joining us for this special episode because stuff been going down and we just needed to talk about it. Like I needed it because if it wasn't on an episode, I was either gonna we're gonna talk on Twitter Spaces. I was gonna send all a Discord invite, something. I need to discuss. Okay.
We have things to talk about.
We had things to talk about, and we will still have more to talk about soon because lots of things are happening. More stuff
Umbrella
is coming
Academy.
out. Yes, that just started back up again.
Almost
The
done.
Boys. I haven't watched that yet. I have to sit down and pay attention to that shit.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's good.
I love The Boys, so I want to make sure I have the time to sit and focus on it.
What you say? Geeking Out Summer TV Special? Oh, okay.
Shut up now. Hey, wait, no, because you can do a watch party on Twitch. Don't play me.
Okay.
Amazon Prime. Shoot, do a watch party.
Yeah. Oh my god. Let's do that. Can we? One of these days, we'll schedule a watch party.
I love it. We just gotta find the right show.
The Boys.
The Boys, bitch.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll pick a day. We'll pick a day. Yeah.
We'll pick a day. All
We'll
right.
pick a day. We'll see you soon.
All right, y'all. Bye, everybody. Let me find the outro. All right, bye, y'all.